In the heart of his glowing lab on Planet MCV, Tom, the curious AI boy of the Cheeky Band, was preparing for a new adventure. Behind him, holographic displays floated in midair, showing blueprints, spinning gears, and one word glowing brighter than the rest: steam. Tom had read about the power of steam, how it once moved machines, ships, and even trains, but he wanted more than facts. He wanted to see it for himself. With a press of a button on his time pod, he entered the year 1712, the early days of the industrial age. The lab faded, the ground rumbled, sparks flickered as the time portal activated. In a blink, Tom disappeared into the flow of time. When the portal opened, Tom stepped into a muddy landscape under gray skies. He had landed next to a coal mine in early 18th century England. Workers nearby hauled carts and dug deep into the earth, trying to remove water that kept flooding the tunnels. Tom noticed a large wooden machine creaking beside the mine. It puffed steam and moved slowly but steadily. This was Thomas Newcomen's steam engine, one of the very first. The engine used steam pressure to push a piston up and down, driving a giant pump that cleared water from the mine. It was noisy, clunky, and huge, but it worked. For the first time, machines were doing the work humans couldn't. Tom scanned every part of it, sketching diagrams into his notebook. He was amazed. This wasn't just a machine, it was the beginning of something much bigger. Years passed in the blink of an eye as Tom adjusted his time coordinates to the year 1769. This time, he appeared inside a small workshop filled with models, drawings, and a quiet humming sound. Here, he observed the work of James Watt, the engineer who transformed steam power. Watt had improved the engine by adding a separate condenser, which saved energy and made the machine faster and more efficient. Tom watched as a smaller engine powered a rotating shaft, not just pumping water anymore, but ready to drive machines. This innovation spread fast. Steam engines began appearing in factories, spinning cloth, pressing iron, and powering entire cities. Tom could see how this single improvement changed not just technology, but how people lived and worked. Next stop, the 1800s. Tom stood by a massive iron structure that hissed and roared. It was a steam locomotive, resting on long metal tracks. As it whistled and rolled forward, Tom climbed aboard. From his seat, he looked out at green hills and wide open skies as the train sped across the countryside. Goods that once took weeks to move by horse could now be delivered in days. People traveled across countries. Cities connected. The world became faster, powered by steam. Farther along his journey, Tom boarded a steamship cutting across the ocean. Giant paddle wheels turned, pushed by engines deep below deck. These ships helped nations trade across continents and brought explorers to new lands. Tom wanted to understand the science too. Back in his lab, he created a holographic diagram of how steam engines worked. First, water was heated in a boiler. As it boiled, the steam expanded and pushed against a piston or turbine. That force created motion that could turn wheels, lift heavy objects, or generate electricity. It was simple. Water plus heat equals steam equals power. But that power changed everything. Even in the modern day, Tom discovered steam hadn't disappeared. In power plants across Earth, heat, whether from coal, nuclear fuel, or solar mirrors, was still used to boil water. The steam from that water spun turbines, which turned magnets, which generated electricity. From electric lights to smart tablets, much of today's technology still ran on steam. Tom returned to the present, sitting at his lab desk with a quiet smile. He had seen the birth of the steam engine, the spark of the Industrial Revolution, and the machines that reshaped history. He added one final note to his explorer's journal. Big change can come from something as simple as a boiling pot of water. On a nearby shelf, he placed a tiny steam engine model, still ticking gently, a reminder that invention isn't always flashy sometimes. It's about curiosity, patience, and the courage to ask, what if?